We fully support the schools implementing curriculum for health classes, presentations for parents, creative anti-drug awareness activities for the kids. However, we also believe that the schools can effectively enhance their existing prevention efforts with trauma-sensitive care strategies. Without trauma-sensitive care, the traditional prevention framework often misses a student most at risk for addiction, the kids with ACEs.
It starts with a story about 12 years ago. I received a phone call from a gentleman who was a mentor of mine, Ed Olson. He was a school adjustment counselor at one of the elementary schools in Brockton. He relayed to me the following story, that there was an armed home invasion in Brockton on a certain street, and I went and pulled the police report and found out that it was a drug house ripoff. One set of drug dealers was ripping off another set of drug dealers.
We're finding out that much like domestic violence, much like child abuse, we're dealing with cycles. We're dealing with the individual who may be the victim of domestic violence today, certainly could be a perpetrator of that crime in the near future.
They broke down the door off the hinges. They had guns. They were masked. They pistol whipped the mother. The son tried to jump in front of the mother and try to protect her, as a 12-year-old son might do. The 5- and 6-year-old were in the other room crying. Drug dealers realized they had the wrong apartment, and they left.
ACE, A-C-E, it stands for Adverse Childhood Experience. And it's a way of creating a common language across different disciplines and professionals and parents to understand the kinds of circumstances, events, occurrences that might occur in the course of a child's lifetime that are potentially detrimental to their development.
Well, the next day came, Ed Olson had said to me that it was a Friday morning, and he said the 12-year-old, hand in hand with the 5- and 6-year-old, came to school, and they came on time. Well, when they got into school, the school had no idea what had gone on the night before, and so no one said anything. So I just imagine what might be going through those children's minds as they start to think about, how come no one's saying anything to us? And I started to think about, well, what may be the message that they were interpreting? And I think one of the messages might have been, if you would, I guess no one cares.
So how do we get in front of that? And I think that we've had a lot of success in getting into schools and talking about the kids who are endangered.
We said the earlier we can intervene and try to help these students overcome some of these ACEs aren't going to go away. They've had these experiences, they're always going to be there, but how can we give them the pro-social skills, the coping skills to go ahead and be able to meet some of these challenges? We really need to look at the whole child. So we looked beyond academics. We looked at what type of relationships does a child have, say with adults, with their peers. We looked at their overall health and well-being.
I think it makes sense when you talk about looking at substance use to consider adverse childhood experiences. It's a natural progression. When we talk about cycles of violence or cycles of substance use or cycles, families that just can't seem to break out of these things, and you wonder why. It became really clear in some of the instances that we would hear about within a community that there would be mom or dad or grandma or grandpa even struggling with substance use, and then their kids are being raised in those environments where all of these things are continuing to play out, right?
What is our response going to be? Will we say, well, that's too bad? Or will we say, we need to roll up our sleeves and every member of our community needs to come together and address this, not only in the prevention, but in the intervention and in the recovery of these children and these ACEs before us.